Up next on the Weekend Review edition of Bayou Time, we'll recap the week that was July 11th through July 15th. That's all coming up next on Bayou Time.
Deep in the heart of the bayou, we are gathered here tonight. Now it's time for action, 'cause our lives are on the line. Tonight we'll do our very best to break through all the bureaucratic mess. The time has come tonight, 'cause it's Bayou time. Show 'em what Louisiana's all about.
This Bayou Time is hosted by local attorney Jason DeGate.
And welcome again to this Weekend Review edition of Bayou Time. I'm Jason DeGate. Thank you so much for joining us. As mentioned, we'll recap the week of July 11th through July 15th, 2011. And on Monday night, to get things started, Martin Folse had a tribute to former Mayor Charles Davidson, who passed away at the age of 90 on July 7th, 2011.
We're here in front of the St. Francis Cathedral on a sad but joyous day, the passing away of former Mayor Charles Davidson. Now, of course, it's well documented through the one-on-one we had on HTV about the history of the mayor. A veteran, decorated veteran, a great business person, former servant of Terrebonne Parish in many, many ways, and today a lot of people came to pay their respects to the great former mayor of Terrebonne Parish. We caught up with some of those dignitaries and some of those friends outside of the church. Listen in their own words, what they thought about Mayor Charles Davidson. Joining me now, one of my favorites, former Mayor Bubby Lyons, who was so instrumental in the building of Terrebonne Parish. And we came today to say goodbye to someone you know pretty well, a colleague of yours, and we could say adversary, but it wasn't adversarial in those days. It was pretty cordial, wasn't it?
Well, you're right about that, Martin, and the politics has changed quite a bit from my experience, and Charles and I, we were opponents in a mayor's race, but we were friends, and it was a campaign that it's very strange. We spoke highly of each other, and that's the change from what it is today. Charles was a good friend and a good public servant.
You always learn things from colleagues, and of course you got to study him just as much as anybody else. What would you say the one thing that you learned from Mayor Davidson that you took with you?
His honesty. He just showed honesty. His thoughts, when he would express them, were good, honest thoughts. And it's something that I will always remember. And I served with him when I was on the police jury president. Charles was the mayor. And we had an opportunity to work together a lot. And we understood each other. And the situation that I became involved in for the mayorship is certain things that I felt that I wanted to do was best in the best interest of Terrebonne Parish, and that was the consolidated government. And so, that's what I remember mostly about Charles. He was, this type of occasion, you always speak highly of whoever is deceased. But this I can truthfully say, I mean it from the bottom of my heart. Thank you so much.
Joining me now, General Sam DeGeneres, and of course we come to pay our respects to the former mayor and also a very decorated war veteran, Mayor Charles Davidson. In your own words, what did he mean to you?
Well, Mayor Davidson, first of all, was a devoted family man. Also devoted to the home in the parish of Terrebonne. He was just a great guy. I respected him for his First of all, his flying ability. We hit it off quite well. Growing up, I was very close to Gwen and Billy, and it was, you know, he was always so kind to everyone. He was respectful to everyone. He was just a great guy, a great gentleman. We're going to miss him. Terrebonne lost a favorite son, and you know, throughout his life, he's devoted to the community. He's devoted to the United States in his service, and it's sad that we're losing these good men, and they're just great people.
He didn't come across as a political figure. As a matter of fact, former Mayor Lyons, the parish president Lyons, said that the thing he got the most from Mayor Davidson was just honest to the core. Is that exemplify the man?
Absolutely, absolutely. He treated everybody with respect. He was totally upfront with everybody and totally honest, like you said. He ran his business that way, and I think he ran the parish government, the city government that way when he was, you know, with the city. He's done so much for the parish, and his legacy will live on, that he is a great steward of the parish, and he was just a great gentleman.
Another one of my favorite people here, Mr. Ray Marcello, and of course, we're here to pay respects to a gentleman you knew very well. I would see y'all eating lunch together and sharing stories. And in your own words, what was the former mayor like?
Well, he you know, he wasn't a robust guy at all. You could talk to him, he understand, or he agreed with you, or he disagreed, in just a simple manner, and that was it, you know, when he got the job done. People don't realize that in the period that he was a mayor of the city of Houma, a lot of changes were made in the city.
Of course, you served right there with him.
I was with him for a number of years, yes, and I really enjoyed serving with Charles. Yes, indeed.
You made a good point. Back in those days, to run for office wasn't about attacking the opponent. It was very statesmanlike. That sort of changed, but that's sort of what he brought to the table, wasn't it?
Well, it's surprising in those days where the atmosphere of the public to public office people were completely different. You know, we got so much support from the people whenever we did anything. Of course, we know we did things right. I must say that, and through his guidance, that was the case.
I was interviewing former mayor and parish president Bubby Lyons, and of course he described former Mayor Davidson as honest to the core. Now I could say that about you too, but is that something that exemplifies the former mayor, the honesty factor?
Oh, definitely, very much so, yeah. I don't think he knew a bad word to say about anything.
And a pretty stickler at business too, huh?
That's right, that's right. You sure are. He was very successful in the business, and he's. I tell you what, he's one of the best.
What's the thing you take the most from him that you learned as a friend and a former veteran with him? What's the one thing that you take that you learned the most from former Mayor Davidson?
Well, that's a hard question, because everything about Charles I liked. We got along. I don't think we ever had a cross word at all in the number of years that we knew each other. And I don't know, he's just somebody that was holy. I don't know. It's hard to describe Charles.
And I know he felt the same way about you two good friends, so I know you're going to miss him.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
All right, we'll take a short break. When we come back, Tuesday's edition of Bayou Time, July 12th, 2011.